because it's a game that no one gives them a chance in. We know the odds, 18-1 against. They'll be out there to enjoy themselves today, and hopefully from their point of view go and get a real shock result and beat Rangers. And if they can do that, then I think you'd have to take your hat off to a marvellous performance it would be, but they certainly have their work cut out when we consider Rangers' recent form.
The players assembling in the tunnel. Lorenzo Amoruso will lead out Rangers, and David Moss at the front of the line for Falkirk. Important moments these for Falkirk as they try to settle to the task in hand, and as they muse over the statistics of Rangers' recent performances. They've scored 17 times in their last 3 games and a total of 28 goals in their last 6 games. Rangers, they couldn't be in much better form. Out come the two sides. Rangers in first choice colours, and Falkirk will wear their change strip of red tops, red shorts and white socks. To get this far, Rangers have beaten Stennismuir by 2-0 and Hamilton 6-0 at Firhill. Falkirk have beaten Huntly by 3-0 and Stranraer by 2-1. So a fair jump up from that standard of opposition. And there's the man handling this second of the Tennent Scottish Cup quarter-finals, John Rowbottom from Kirkcaldy. So a place in the semi-finals at stake. There's Dick Advocat with a seat in the director's box. It remains to be seen how long he'll stay there. That depends on how the match starts for Rangers. There's Rod Wallace, who went a month without scoring and returned to goal-scoring form last Sunday with a hat-trick against Kilmarnock, which took his season's tally to 23. What an incredible acquisition he's been for Rangers.
Yeah, there's little Kevin McAllister. He'll be a player that Falkirk will rely on greatly today. He's a really experienced man now, but still has the ability to take people on. Scored that marvellous goal against Huntly that I didn't choose as my goal of the month, much to the dismay of everyone, but I still think it was a terrific goal. And if Falkirk are going to do anything today, they'll rely on the likes of McAllister to use all his experience.
Well, that's wee Kev, and this is big Kev, Kevin James, all 6'7" of them, playing in a back 3 for Falkirk this afternoon, alongside Ivo Den Beeman and David Sinclair. There's a face full of determination, and he knows what glory's about in the Tennent Scottish Cup as this quarter-final tie gets underway. James, who scored the equalizer against Celtic a couple of seasons back, the goal which took the tie to a replay, which Falkirk went on to win with Paul McGrillen's famous goal. So important moments these as Falkirk try to settle, keep their shape, and be wary of what Rangers are doing as well. And Stefan Kloss watchful on the goal line. Up comes Ivo Den Beeman, launching in the long throw, and it's right through to Kloss. James at the near post was the target, the throw just beyond him. First touch for McAllister. Then Beeman has stayed up, looking to pick out Moss. McAllister typically determined. In from Den Beeman, but way beyond Marino Keith. Lorenzo Amoruso, the skipper, who's been in very commanding form lately. Now in the season, much criticised for being a bit over-elaborate, playing a bit too much football in the defensive areas. But the Rangers supporters much more impressed with his showings of late. Giovanni van Bronckhorst sitting in front of the back 3, playing passes. That one cleared by David Sinclair. Neil McCann, 4 goals in his last 3 games. A great start to his Rangers career. Now it's Perini. Rod Wallace. Andrei Kanchelskis couldn't quite gather the ball in his stride. Everyone behind the ball for Falkirk. Now Barry Ferguson. Givarsh. Neat touch from Amoruso. Vidmar over the head of Martin Corrigan, but out of play. And we've seen him in the kilt at Ibrox. It's not the day for the kilt today. Might well be stretched off after a few minutes had he chosen that mode of dress. But Alec Totten, very determined. Not just that Falkirk enjoy their day, but they get the result that they dream of. Alberts. Van Bronckhorst, first time for McCann. That was well cut out by David Sinclair. Sensed that Alberts was heading towards him.
I think you can see with Falkirk so far that their organisation's good, that they're sitting a little bit deep, but also their concentration's very good. Every player knows his job, and they're just trying to make sure they don't lose anything early.
Tony Vidmar's throw, flicked on by Neil McCann. There's Rod Wallace trying to turn, cleared by James. And a cool header from Corrigan to Scott Crabb, which allowed the former Hearts and Dundee United man to clear downfield. Long ball from Amoruso. It's a good one too for Andrei Konchelskas. Stretched out the right boot, good to pull it down, but acknowledges the quality of the pass from Amoruso.
Yeah, superb pass. One of the qualities that Rangers have just now is that they're able to change the play with diagonal balls, because rather than full-backs who are coming forward to join up the attack, they have wide players, natural wingers, and McCann, Konchelskas, that can run on beyond defences, and they really do drag back the wide players of the opposition as well, who have to go and mark them.
Tony Vidmar, who's had an extended run in the Rangers first team in the absence of Arthur Newman. Vic Advocat has reshuffled, and there continues at the moment to be a place for Vidmar. Being pressured by Marino Keith. Amoruso's clearance for Wallace. Good challenge by Sinclair. David Sinclair did a man-marking job on Jean-Pierre Papin while playing for Raith Rovers against Bayern in Europe, so he knows all about big challenges. Crabb cooling things down. Then Beeman. Alberts in the way. Pass aimed at Kevin McAllister. Alberts 18 goals this season. Martin Corrigan flighted in, headed away by Amoruso. Onto the loose ball, Scott Crabb. And he bundled over Barry Ferguson, free kick given.
Yeah, I think it was a foul. I think this will be a feature of Falkirk's play. If they get the ball into wide areas, they've not got a lot of height up front with Keith and McAllister, but what they will do is try and get David Moss, who's good in the air, into the box to go and try and attack it, either at the back post or against Amoruso. Good in the air, as I said, Moss, but it all depends on the quality of the crosses that comes in from the wide areas.
Scott Crabb looking for the throw-in. Not much chance of getting it, I don't think, though. A lot of expectation among the Rangers supporters inside Ibrox this afternoon. They will think that Rangers should cruise into the semi-finals, and the longer the match stays goalless, frustration may set in. Givars, not the most impressive of first touches, taken away from him by McAllister. Loose pass by Crabb, but McCann in turn relieved of possession by Corrigan. David Sinclair taking his time, looking at the options ahead. Interception by Alberts.
There are quite a few mistakes so far from Rangers in terms of their touching and their passing, and I think that you know, they're taking a little bit of time to settle. And Alec Tottenham will be quite happy at the moment the way the game's going, but you can never tell. I say against the big sides, you know, all they need is that little breakthrough, they score against you, the tails go up, the crowd get behind them, and then you're in real trouble. So, you know, Falkirk will be taking nothing for granted at this early stage of the game.
Take two on the goal kick. And Amoruso slowing it down almost to walking pace. Crabb to McQuilkin, the former Celtic and Hibs player. A long ball down the line for Marino Keith. Battling for possession with Sergio Parini.
Well, Dick Abacaz just arrived in the dugout, so I think that's a clear sign it hasn't been a very good opening period for Rangers. He wants to get down there and sort some things out.
Kevin McAllister, good play against Amoruso. Delicate ball in. Failing to get beyond Stefan Kloss, who dived out to grab it at the near post, but good skills from McAllister.
Great footwork. I just wonder whether if he'd just taken the ball on and he could maybe have driven in a little bit from that wide area rather than trying to put in the early ball. Maybe he felt that was the right thing to do, but been driven in towards goal, he might have drawn another Rangers defender out that might have opened things up.
Free kick given against David Moss for his challenge on Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Didn't seem to be too much in it, but the free kick given. The through ball missed by Givars and it trundles away. And what a show of form there's been recently from Andrei Kanchelskis. £5.5 million he cost, and a lot of doubts were cast about the value for money that he's been to Rangers, but of late he's shown the form that he's shown before in British football with Manchester United and Everton. Rod Wallace making a run through the middle for Amoruso, and forced to stop by the threat of offside. Barry Ferguson being forced back. Scott Crabb with him all the way, and Crabb wins it back for Falkirk. That's important play, important moments these. Sinclair. You can always bet David Sinclair will be in there in a 50-50 challenge.
Yeah, they're working very hard at the moment, Falkirk. They're closing all the avenues of space. They push Crabb onto the area where Van Bronckhorst would like to get involved, get himself free on the ball and make a lot of the play. He's been doing that in recent matches and been playing very well. So Falkirk have shut that off, and Rangers are finding they're getting a lot of the ball at the back with Perini, Amoruso, Vidmar, but not so much in the midfield.
Nearly 9 minutes gone and no goals. It's a good start from the underdogs. Amoruso slipped as he played the pass. Still looked fairly handy though, but it catches Neil McCann in an offside position.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he was offside there, because really a player of his quality should be looking along the line. It's a diagonal ball. He can see the whole line of the Falkirk defence and keep himself onside and still be through for the pass. It was a good ball from Amoruso.
Rangers in their last 3 games, 6 goals in the cup against Hamilton, 6 in the league against Dundee, and another 5 in the league against Kilmarnock. Not statistics that you would want to dwell on too much if you were a Falkirk defender. Kloss very coolly out to Van Bronckhorst. You've got to have a lot of confidence in your teammates to play out passes like that. Again, the Rangers play, building through Amoruso, looking for players to come and take a short pass. It's Barry Ferguson. Impressive last Sunday against Kilmarnock. He's admitted himself he's been struggling for a bit of form. That's a good ball for Porrini. And headed behind by Ivo Den Beeman. The cross was beyond Givars. And Den Beeman was taking no chances and conceding the corner kick.
Yeah, it's good play from Rangers. People coming deep there. Ferguson, then Wallace as well. And as that happened, it was Porrini who made the break all the way from the back. I mean, that's very, very positive play when you consider that's a centre-back getting right up the right-hand side, putting a decent ball, well cleared by Den Beeman.
So, more than 10 minutes gone, the first corner kick of the match for Rangers. The back 3 up in its entirety in the penalty box. And this will be swung in by the left foot of Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Givars took a tumble. And David Sinclair was happy to let the ball run.
Yeah, it was an outswinger, an in-swinger I should say, but played very, very deep away to the back. And I think it was a little nudge with Sinclair and Givars, but nothing in it at all. Normal defensive play. What Falkirk are trying to do, as I say, is leave the back players on the ball, and then Rangers are finding it quite hard that they're finding the midfield players, if they want to get on it, are going to have to come very, very deep. They can't get it just pushed into them when they're in their own midfield position. But from that, what they'll try and do then is maybe spring the likes of Vidmar and Perini, as they did before, into a forward area.
Kevin McAllister putting pressure on Lorenzo Amoruso. Nearly 12 minutes gone. Rangers 0, Falkirk 0. A live match from BBC Scotland, the second of the Tennant Scottish Cup quarter-finals. St Johnstone are already through. Sandy Clark will have a small look on his face in the studio. 2-0 at Fir Park yesterday. They've already claimed their place. Morton Celtic tomorrow night at Capello. And then Ayr United against Dundee United at Somerset Park next Saturday. Kevin McAllister has drifted again to the left side. The back heel looking for the run of Jamie McQuilkin. Corner kick conceded by Sergio Perini. So the first corner of the match for Falkirk. Kevin McAllister won't be using his aerial power in the box, I'm sure. These guys will. Dan Beeman and Moss. In from Crabb. It's a good corner. Fisted away by Kloss. And knocked way over the top by David Sinclair.
I think Sinclair knew he could have done a bit better there. It was really putting him under pressure. Kloss isn't the biggest, as we know, only about 5'10". The ball swinging in top of him there. He did well to get the punch on it. A lot of height coming in, but Sinclair probably been better just knocking it back into the danger area where the big men were lurking. They had Moss in there, they had David James. Plenty of height in there in order to cause some problems.
Good delivery on the corner kick from Scott Crabb. But now it's Rangers with Amoruso. Again looking for more movement than he's getting ahead of him, but Falkirk making it difficult, shutting things down. McCann to Wallace. Rod Wallace has got this habit of coming back into deep positions, looking for the ball, looking to start things off. Foul by Van Bronckhorst and Crabb. There's been one the other way round already. I think that's 15-all. David Moss a possible target for Den Beeman. Indeed it is, his head flick. Marino Keith stumbled as he tried to get on the end of it. Impressive player Keith, ex-Dundee United, and he also played Highland League with Fraserburgh. And already 17 goals this season, the top scorer in the Scottish First Division. Now Alberts, we've seen very little of him so far. Amoruso. Long ball beyond McQuilkin for Kanchelskis. Trying to tempt McQuilkin into a challenge. Now it's Barry Ferguson. Sergio Perini making a run. And a good challenge by Keith. Doing a lot of backtracking, doing a lot of defending in these early stages. Nearly 15 minutes gone, it's still goalless. Ivo Den Beeman's clearance. One of Scottish football's longest serving foreign imports, Den Beeman. Ex of Montrose, Dundee, Dunfermline, short spell at Ross County as well. Now Rod Wallace, taking the direct approach. Good effort too, touched away by Paul Mathers. First threat on goal from Wallace.
Yeah, good little burst. I'm not sure it was going in. Definitely took a deflection, and Mathers not want to take any chances on it. I think it was going wide, but you have to say, I mean, Falkirk have done well considering that's 15 minutes. The first direct shot and goal from Rangers. The first time the goalkeeper's been brought into play.
Maybe signs of nerves there from Mathers. It was, as we saw there, going well wide, but he decided to dive for it anyway. Van Bronckhorst's corner. And that was swinging in wickedly. There is a breeze blowing inside Ibrox, and that one definitely caught in the breeze, and that was a difficult corner to deal with.
It was a good corner, it was swung, and I had actually thought initially it was Vidmar that just headed it directly over, but he was claiming a corner himself, so obviously there might have been a little touch on it, but I thought Vidmar had just headed it over. Yeah, it may have been the challenge just coming in there. That
looked like Marino Keith there.
Yeah, Marino Keith maybe just got the last touch on it.
Corner kick not given. Vidmar to McCann. Square for Ferguson. Kanchelskis with a lot of appetite for the ball. Perini won the challenge. The touch of Givars gives it away. Amoruso for Kanchelskis. McQuilkin looked as if he'd a fistful of his shirt there, but gets away with it. This is where Falkirk want to keep possession, and that's exactly where they're giving it away, but Amoruso forced to play it. Ferguson for Wallace. Rod Wallace again. And unceremoniously taken out by Scott Crabb.
Yeah, he's mainly been known as a striker over the years, Scott Crabb. Dropped into a deeper position today, and he's doing well. Actually, doing a lot. He's definitely filled Wallace there, but he's done a lot of closing down. He's done a lot of hard work so far in that area to try and stop Rangers controlling the midfield.
Breakdown in communication between McCann and Alberts. Pass went astray, and it must be heartening to Falkirk that Rangers so far really have not much fluidity to their play, not much cohesion, and again it's given away by McCann to Scott Crabb. David Moss's header. Martin Corrigan did well to keep possession. It was a stern challenge from Van Bronckhorst. Still it's Corrigan. David Moss makes the run. Seemed to misjudge that, Moss.
Good work by Corrigan. I think it was just played a little bit in front of Moss. He was always struggling to keep it in, keep possession. It was an opportunity on maybe when Corrigan had actually cut past McCann here, maybe to deliver it to the back post. Keith had made a good run there, but decided when Moss made that little run inside, but you can see he was always struggling to catch it.
The jeering was for the assistant referee on the side, Alistair Burt, who for the second time in the match insisted that Stefan Klos retake a goal kick from inside the area. The German looked less than impressed. Now Kanchelskis. The back heel for Wallace. Alberts. Moss right in front of him. Now Wallace. Good ball in and deflected off Kevin James. Another Rangers corner kick. Kevin James has missed a lot of this season because of injury. Suffered from a broken leg earlier on. And he'll be watchful as Lorenzo Amoruso trots into the box along with Tony Vidmar and Sergio Parini. In from Van Bronckhorst. Sinclair won the header. And Ward Wallace wasn't able to do much with it. It's 1 against 2 for Kevin McAllister. Barry Ferguson and Andrei Kanchelskis are the furthest men back for Rangers at set pieces. Now a chance for Kanchelskis to push forward. Continues his run. And found with the pass by Van Bronckhorst. Kanchelskis certainly couldn't have been offside, but the offside given against Givars.
Yeah, Givars was in an offside position when it's not forward. Should have known better than that. You can see there he's definitely off, and the ball's knocked in. Great ball. Kanchelskis made a fine run. It's a good pass, but the striker just straying offside.
That's sloppy play, surely, Gordon, when Kanchelskis has made such a long run that Givars is able to look along the line, gets himself caught.
Yeah, you think he should be able to see it pretty clearly, and you know, Rangers, they've been at their best today when people have been coming off and taking the ball in and allowing others to get beyond them when the space is there, but in that case Givars spoiling what was a very promising move.
It's all about milestones in the match for Falkirk, and now 20 minutes are gone. Still 0-0. Rangers 0, Falkirk 0. The underdogs doing a good job so far. Barry Ferguson trying to change gear. Neil McCann closed down very quickly by Martin Corrigan. Away from Scott McKenzie is Ferguson. Now Alberts trying to thread the pass through for Rod Wallace. It was well cut out. Chance here for a Falkirk counter-attack. Moss to McQuilkin. That's for Kevin McAllister. Lovely touch. Takes him away from Tony Vidmar. Good challenge by Lorenzo Amoruso. We've seen some special goals from Kevin McAllister in the Cup over the last couple of seasons. And he was threatening there. Now threatening at the other end. Andrei Kanchelskis halted by Ben Beeman's challenge, and Falkirk have the throw as well.
That was great work with McAllister, and you just felt that he had one-on-one situation. He could take on Amoruso, but it's a superbly timed challenge. Look at that, just puts his foot in at exactly the right moment. If McAllister goes past him, you think, well, here's another one of these special goals coming, as you mentioned, Rob, but excellent challenge from Amoruso. He's very good in those sort of situations. At times, one-on-one with people running at him straight through the middle.
One of these special goals that you tend not to vote for in goal of the month.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would if he'd run through there and scored it, I think he would have been well in line for getting a vote this month.
Unless Owen Archdeacon scores tomorrow. A Rangers free kick. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and George Alberts are in charge. Parini and Givars and McCann and Vidmar and Wallace all in or around the penalty area. In from Van Bronckhorst, headed away by Martin Corrigan. No great challenge on him. Lofted in by Barry Ferguson. Hesitation in the Falkirk defence. Perini gets beyond McQuilkin, but that's good covering in behind by Kevin McAllister. The Rangers fans appealing that was a corner kick. Jim Walker on the far side, not impressed by their claims.
Certainly very, very tight. I didn't think myself was going to hit, but you can't tell from here. Look, you can quite clearly see it didn't go out. But maybe a sign of Rangers fans' frustration. 20-odd minutes gone, nothing happening for them in terms of getting in front in this game or controlling the match, and then begin to worry about whether the ball's over the line or not for goal kicks.
Free kick given against Scott Crabb for the high boot.
I think he definitely caught him with his arm too, caught him in the face there as he swung his arm after the high challenge. So one for Van Bronckhorst.
Again, all the red shirts behind the ball. Set piece opportunity for Rangers. Alberts to Tony Vidmar. Charged down by David Moss. Again, great industry and great determination from Falkirk. Not allowing Rangers to play, not allowing them time on the ball. Paul Mathers still with a clean sheet. 24 minutes gone. Vidmar and Alberts combining, and pleasantries being exchanged between Sinclair and Alberts. There's the Falkirk management team of Alec Totten and Walter Kidd. Totten must be proud of the way his players are playing so far. Albert's throw headed away by James. Knocked down by Keith for Sinclair. Ball hammered out of play. It was an interesting tangle there, Gordon, between Sinclair and Alberts.
Yeah, I think it was a normal thing that happens when one player's getting in challenging for the ball, the foot up, the other player clears it, and eventually they end up face to face. And you know, in many of those situations in the past, but it didn't come to anything anyway. Both players were managed to keep the head. The difference is that at the moment, as the Rangers fans are getting frustrated, they always say that there's a vital 20-minute period. If you get beyond it, you know, sometimes the fans can work in your favour against either the Old Firm when you're away to them, and that's what's happening now. The Rangers fans are frustrated.
Giovanni Van Bronckhorst trying to get onto the ball at the edge of the area. George Alberts does. In from McCann. A flying header by Guivarch. Kevin James got it clear. And knocked out of play by Jamie McQuilkin. So again, the Falkirk defence proving difficult to break down. Amoruso for Neil McCann, cut out by Corrigan, and time on the ball for David Sinclair. McAllister reckoned he was nudged by Amoruso. Keith losing out to Vidmar, and he's through the challenge of Corrigan as well. Now Rod Wallace, this could be dangerous for Falkirk. It's Neil McCann, and well cut out by Kevin James. That was well anticipated, well dealt with, as Rangers were looking really threatening.
Yeah, good play. Vidmar as well came through a couple of solid challenges. It was great work by McCann, actually. Kept himself onside. He didn't go to the right moment. Got himself in a good position. The only thing he could do was cut it back. But look at the number of Falkirk bodies that are in there to make sure there's no danger.
The Alberts corner kick. And again, it's James in the way, dominating inside his own area, as he should at 6'7", I suppose. Alberts battling for possession with Marino Keith. The free kick goes against him.
Yeah, I think that as Alberts came there, he just he tried to get his foot in to make sure that he was going to get it. Didn't make contact with the ball, and he did certainly trip Keith. But it's a time when Rangers have to step up. They have to step up the movement. They have to step up the pace, because Falkirk are getting themselves back in. When the build-up's a bit slow, it gives them an opportunity to go and defend and keep it tight and just fill the defence with numbers. What Rangers need to do is maybe to beef up the pace of their attack.
Stefan Klos, again, refusing to be flustered, even when the Falkirk player is bearing down on him. It was Marino Keith that time. Perini for Guivarch. Perini gets it back. Halted though by Kevin James' tackle. And some attention required for Porini.
It's a solid challenge, wasn't it? I mean, it's almost like a rugby tackle like that, but it was really, it was a fair one too. There's no hint of any maliciousness there as well. But big lad Kevin James, maybe considered a bit of a beanpole, but I'm certainly, you know, he does carry a lot of strength in that frame.
Sergio Porini is okay. He's missed only one Rangers game this season. No one's played more than him in the Rangers first team this season. Alberts with the strength to hold off David Moss. And Mariso, the central player of the Rangers back three. Just delivered with the outside of the right foot for the on-rushing Porini. Wasn't rushing fast enough though. The ball out of play. Section of the Rangers support sure to be getting increasingly frustrated. Nearly 29 minutes gone, and this cup tie still goalless. Kevin McAllister to Jamie McQuilkin. Good work by Andrei Kanchelskis, and it's a goal kick. But working hard, Kanchelskis, and that was one of the criticisms of him earlier in the season.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that. I mean, he wasn't playing particularly well at one stage of the season, but I could never understand the criticism. Said it didn't work hard. I felt he always plays the position very, very well. He goes back and helps Porini out a lot. He's never far from Porini when he's got the ball, never far from Porini when he's being challenged, and there's another example of it there.
Van Bronckhorst looking for Alberts and finding him as well over the top of David Sinclair's head. That's a good challenge by Den Beeman. He held up Alberts as he was looking to pull the ball back from the byline. Tony Vidmar, challenged by Martin Corrigan. Again, very determined. Givarsh well policed by Den Beeman. Alberts to McCann. 3 red shirts in front of him. And Vidmar showed too much of it to Corrigan. And Falkirk have it back. Sinclair, difficult one to control for David Moss. And it's won back by Keith. Growing in confidence, Falkirk. You can see that from the way they're playing. Paul Mather's clearance, too long for McKenzie. Barry Ferguson trying to make things happen at the heart of the midfield. Porini's pass for Givarsh, got a little bit of room. Very optimistic. I think we can assume that was a shot at goal, and it just tumbled across the goal mouth.
Yeah, he's got a very good strike, Givarsh, but he does tend to shoot from any sort of angle when at times you'd be better just holding the ball up and allowing other people to support. But he likes to have a crack from those sort of positions. But you can see Falkirk, the little signs there, what a good footballing side they are. When they get the opportunity to play the ball, they do try to make passes. It's not a case of just knocking the ball up front and hoping to catch Rangers out. They do try and play, and they're good at it. When they've got players who have played in Scottish football at the highest level for a number of years, although they're first division side, a lot of the Premier Division players in the lineup.
The important half-hour mark has now been passed for Falkirk. Nearly 32 minutes gone. Rangers 0, Falkirk 0 in the second of the Cup quarter-finals. Wallace, the layoff for Barry Ferguson. Andrei Kanchelskis wants it. McQuilkin following him everywhere. Ferguson again linking play together. Neil McCann this time. Having a go at Martin Corrigan, trying to get outside him. That's a good ball. And headed away bravely, spectacularly as well by Kevin James, but There was real top quality there about Neil McCann.
That was a good ball. Corrigan's been doing well on that side, but McCann just takes him a pace, whips in a super ball there. It was a difficult one to deal with, and it had to be cleared just at the post there. Maybe not enough Rangers players in the box at that stage, but certainly exciting when you see your wingers driving down and crossing the ball in like that.
In comes the corner kick from Alberts. Kevin James in charge. Concedes another one, but he won't be too unhappy about that. The most important thing is that he gets there first. Alberts again. James again. And Bronckhorst. Nicely controlled header by Barry Ferguson. Givars. Saved by Mathers. Vidmar. Cleared by James. Back into the box from Alberts towards Wallace. Cleared by Den Beeman. Under siege at the moment, that Falkirk penalty area. Barry Ferguson. Kanchelskis. Back onto the left foot. Amoruso, well struck. Stopped but held by Mathers. That was well controlled by Amoruso. A couple of good efforts on goal in the space of a minute from Rangers.
Yeah, they're building up a bit of momentum in the last few minutes there. Great strike initially from Guy Vars, and then there the ball laid back. I think Kanchelskis was looking to go on with his left foot, knocked it inside. That's a fine strike going in the top corner. Mathers made it look very, very simple with his good positional sense.
Now Rod Wallace on the move on the end of Porini's pass. Blocked by Den Beeman. Hammered out by Jamie McQuilkin. That was a good save by Mathers from Amoruso, and also the stop just earlier from Givars. Another of those shots from an angle. That's Givars again. Well, a shrug of the French shoulders as the ball trundled out, and the danger for Falkirk was over.
Yeah, he seemed to give up a little bit early. It certainly was, you know, the physical presence of James was there. He was certainly balked a little bit, but I didn't think there was much in it, and I thought that if he had gone after the ball, he could probably still have kept possession. But it's been a good spell. I mean, we're over half an hour, and Falkirk still very much in this game, although Rangers have stepped up in the last few minutes, created the chance with a good cross from McCann, and then a couple of strikes there, Givars, then Amoruso. Falkirk have fallen out the game a little bit from an attacking point of view. They haven't created anything of any meaning since very early in the game.
Falkirk have a free kick. In from Scott Crabb towards Kevin James. Won the header. Out comes Kloss. Punches clear. He was under pressure and did well. That was a good header from James, which asked questions of him. Now in the counter. Then Beeman could be in trouble against Kanchelskis. He's got the pace to get beyond him. Back for Givars! Givars again! And Corrigan clears. Falkirk survive. That was very close to the opening goal.
Fantastic break, great run. Look at the cross, it's superb. The volley was brilliant, and the save matched it. But great reaction from Mathers. He's having a good game so far, and that saving exemplified it.
Lovely pass from Amoruso to Kanchelskis. Rangers now building up ahead of steam, and another good stop by the goalkeeper. He's having a good first half, Paul Mathers. So important to his team that he shows confidence, and he's not just stopping these but holding them as well.
Yeah, when the pressure comes on, you're just hoping that your goalkeeper's up to the task, and certainly Mathers is today. Don't know whether it might just have been creeping inside the post, but the main thing about it is he's got the confidence of his teammates now, and there's probably supporters as well, because that's two or three very, very fine saves he's had.
McCann to Alberts, shut down quickly by Moss, and pressure from McAllister on Vidmar. Rangers have had a good spell in the last few minutes, but the clock tells us that there are 37 minutes gone, 8 minutes to go to half-time. Here's Sergio Porini trying to slip the pass in for Givars. Beyond Givars was Neil McCann, and that was a real chance to carve out an opening for the first goal of the game.
Beeman did well, the big long leg just stretched out there, Not quite sure whether Givas would have got a free shot at goal with the challenge was coming in, but good break again. Perini getting down the right-hand side, firing it across.
The rerun certainly showed the big part played there by Den Beeman. In comes the corner kick from Van Bronckhorst, headed back into the crowd by David Moss. Everyone bar Kevin McAllister for a Falkirk is back inside the area. Another of these wickedly swerving in-swingers to come from Van Bronckhorst. George Alberts at the near post, but it flies too high. And some signs of restlessness in the Rangers dugout area. Dick Advocat and Bert van Lingen. Falkirk not making it easy for Rangers, and so far unable to get the breakthrough.
Yeah, I think that there's a man standing between Rangers and a lead at the moment, because I think the Rangers have taken control of the game at this stage, and it's a case of Falkirk are holding out, and Maiders in good form, and they may continue to do that, but you just feel the pressure is now beginning to build on them a little bit as Rangers begin to create more and more openings.
6.5 minutes to go to half-time, plus a little bit of stoppage time to be added. Ferguson to Amoruso. The skipper pushing up again. George Alberts. Stopped by Sinclair. And Neil McCann. Onto the loose ball, Amoruso. Barry Ferguson. Rod Wallace. Pulling Kevin James out of central defence. Rolls it back for Ferguson. But desperation there on the face of Barry Ferguson as he looked for a pass. A shot from Amoruso. Bouncing awkwardly towards Paul Mathers, but gathered without too much of a problem. But doesn't need too much encouragement to shoot the skipper.
It does not. It would certainly hit the target with the one earlier on that made it look easy, but you can just see there that as that ball has been hit, the Rangers had a fair bit of possession, but it was all across the front of Falkirk, not really causing them a problem. The ones that really are a problem is when Rangers get down the sides with either their wide players, or you get Perini forward, or Vidmar, whoever. That's when Falkirk really have problems. But when it's coming, when the ball's playing in the front area, they're getting everybody behind the ball and making it very, very difficult for Rangers to find any space.
George Alberts looked as if he was going to set off on one of his runs through the middle, but the ball bobbled away from him. Now Martin Corrigan to Marino Keith. Corrigan doing well. Just 21, Martin Corrigan. He's adapted well here against big-time opposition. Good challenge by Scott McKenzie against Barry Ferguson. Falkirk winning a lot of important challenges here. And Kevin McAllister. Clever pass for Jamie McQuilkin, well judged. Early ball in, looking for David Moss, headed away by Amoruso. Alberts to Van Bronckhorst. Kevin McAllister has won it back. Still McAllister on one of those mazy runs. McQuilkin again, left by Keith. Looking for David Moss in behind him. They may not have managed a shot on goal there at Falkirk, but they certainly won a lot of 50-50 challenges in the middle. Barry Ferguson, mishit pass, goes to Kevin James. Now Kevin McAllister, lovely touch to get away from Perini. Only Marino Keith in the middle. David Moss getting there. Cleared by Amoruso. Disappointment there for Kevin McAllister in terms of the ball into the box, because he's certainly done well up till then. Kevin McAllister, an obvious threat to Rangers. He gets the ball at his feet. That's a bad challenge by Marino Keith and Tony Vidmar. Caught after the ball had gone. Yeah,
it was a foul. He's come in late, and it's a trailing leg coming through, though, as Vidmar flashes it through, he actually makes contact. It's not really a malicious foul either, and I'm quite glad to see the referee didn't bother to give a card there.
2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go to the half-time whistle. And it's still goalless between the Premier League leaders Rangers and Falkirk of the First Division.
Yeah,
and there are signs of disarray, aren't there, about this Rangers performance now?
Yeah, it's not the best performance, but redressed the balance a little bit in recent minutes. Falkirk getting forward and creating some openings, not quite getting on the end of anything. The final ball didn't work out for them, but there was good play. They were winning the 50-50 balls, as you mentioned, Rob. They got into good crossing positions, and Rangers managed to clear the danger. So it was one-way traffic for about a 10-15 minute spell, and Falkirk coming back into it just before half-time, which will give them a fair bit of confidence if they can keep it at 0-0 going in at half-time.
Yep, they'll be disappointed if they concede a goal this late in the first half, because they've really done everything according to plan so far. They've worked hard during the week. They were down in Troon preparing, as they tend to do on these occasions. And Bronkhorst gets it back from Barry Ferguson. Now Kanchelskis, dangerous ball in. Neil McCann, good challenge by Martin Conaghan. That was so important, as Neil McCann got himself into a dangerous position in the box. Wallace against Sinclair. In behind him, that's a dangerous ball. Headed away by Den Beeman. And good control from Kevin McAllister. Cool play. A lot of experience in this Falkirk side, and they're certainly digging into it. Inside the last minute of the first half. Givars back to Wallace. Wallace was about to pull the trigger. Good challenge by Scott McKenzie. And turned out of play by Kevin James, so that David Sinclair, I think it is, can get some attention. This was good from McKenzie, Gordon.
Yeah, it was a good little challenge there. Wallace just pulling his trigger there, and James came out with the ball, and he knocked out for the throw-in so that Sinclair could get some treatment. He was injured in the earlier challenge when he went in behind Wallace. But they said that if they get to half-time, Falkirk, like Tottenham, will be absolutely delighted. I mean, most people forecast a bit of a rout and gave Falkirk no chance. And although Rangers have been the superior side and have all the possession, I think the plaudits will go to Falkirk because of the circumstances coming here as total underdogs.
Alec Totten giving it some verbal from the touchline. Rangers return the ball in sporting manner to Falkirk, and 1 minute of stoppage time will be added, and we're already inside that added time. So not too much longer in this first half for Falkirk to negotiate, and they can puff their chests out with some pride as they walk in if they can keep it to 0-0. It's been an industrious first half by Kevin McAllister, and he's looked menacing at times as well. And not really a great test of Stefan Klos so far. This will be the last action, I'm sure, of the first half. Crabbe, McAllister, Corrigan, cleared by Van Bronckhorst. Good exchange down the right side from Falkirk. And that is the half-time whistle. And the Falkirk supporters give their team a good ovation as they go off. And the ovation, a lot of it will be directed at this man, Paul Mathers, the man of the first half for Falkirk.
Which I had to, because obviously Rangers have come at us, but played some good football as well. We restricted them to very few chances, so hopefully same again in the second half.
And go out and get a vital goal.
Well, that's what we said to them. 45 minutes of graft again. We're here for one thing, for a result, so hopefully we can get that second half.
Well done so far, Alec.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Chick. Thank you.
Chick Young with Alec Totten, and Chick kindly letting Alec back out the tunnel to see the start of the second half. A bit early for Falkirk to start thinking about a replay at this stage, but certainly in terms of the first half, it's difficult to fault them for the way they set themselves out and for the way they played. Rangers, I'm sure, will be looking for an early breakthrough in the second half, because at the end of the first half, signs of disarray about their performance and the inevitable frustration creeping in as they struggle to make the breakthrough.
Just wondering, Rob, has there ever been any of these half-time interviews with managers and the opposition have scored while the manager's been getting interviewed?
I don't know, actually. It's a great question.
I thought maybe that was a difficult one for you then.
Here comes Amoruso for Rangers. Kanchelskis. Again, Jamie McCulkin trying to stick with him all the way. And forcing Kanchelskis into the corner, and he was unable to pull the ball back.
Like Ali mentioned at half-time, the two full-backs, I have been impressed with them. McQuilkin and Corrigan have both done very, very well. I think probably slightly more Corrigan in the first half because we saw little of McCann, but McQuilkin stuck to his task well, and he's attacked as well at times down the left-hand side against Rangers too. So, I mean, they've done a good job, both those wide players for Falkirk.
Interesting to see Jamie McQuilkin and Kevin James sharing a joke there, so clearly Falkirk feeling good, feeling relaxed. And David Moss at the edge of the area takes a tumble, and the shot just too high from Marino Keith. So, what a good start to the second half for Falkirk.
Yeah, that's their best chance so far. Moss getting right into an attacking position, but it allowed Keith to come in and steal it from him. Difficult angle, you have to say. Should have hit the target, at least kept the ball down. He's taken advantage of it there. He's got beyond Amoruso. You can see there he's getting a free hit at goal, but just blasts it high, leaning back a little bit and snatched at it.
17 goals so far this season. If that one had gone in, number 18 would have been rather memorable for Keith. Still 0-0, 2 minutes into the second half. Barry Ferguson rolls the pass for Andrei Kanchelskis. Trying to get in behind McQuilkin, good technique. Just skimmed off the top of Guy Marsh's head. Neil McCann. Closed down by Scott Crabb. Conceded the corner kick, but cut out the immediate threat from McCann, which was the important thing. George Albert's corner coming up. Amoruso, Perini and Vidmar all up again. Curling out from goal. Headed clear by Keith, back from Van Bronckhorst to Alberts. And that was Keith who was out, charging it down. That was deflected, almost into the stride of Amoruso. Scott Crabb, lone figure up front for Falkirk, is Kevin McAllister. Got there before Van Bronckhorst. Covering in behind was Tony Vidmar. Stefan Kloss.
Unbelievable there, McAllister. His teammates gave up on him there as he was chasing down Rangers. Ferguson wide, then Vidmar, then Kloss, and he had to look round at despair at his teammates who hadn't come to support him.
Stefan Givars is over at the touchline. It looks as if he's had enough. Rangers about to make a change, I think. He's feeling the back of his right thigh. May well be a spot of hamstring trouble. And already Jonathan Johansson is getting stripped and ready to come on. So that is a change which might well do Rangers some good. Johansson has got seeding pace and he knows how to score. The change will be made when the ball's dead. Meantime, Rangers effectively down to 10 men because Givars doesn't want to be involved anymore.
He's finished, definitely. I would say a hamstring problem, the way they are standing the touchline. He's just waiting for the game to stop. Play to just finish the ball going out the field, or Rangers knocking it out in order to get on the substitute, because at the moment they're virtually playing. They are playing just with 10 men, with Givars just waiting to come on.
Corrigan sliding challenge. Good strength from Neil McCann. Lovely change of direction as well, taking him away from Mackenzie and Keith. Laid back by Alberts to Barry Ferguson. Sergio Perini. But again, there's this thin red line across the edge of the penalty area, which Rangers have to try to break through. And eventually, the patience of Amoruso snapped. And he had a shot from way out, which never looked likely to hit the target.
Yeah, Johansson came on last week against Kilmarnock and made a big difference right away. Within minutes he had scored. Plenty of pace. The only difference today will be that Falkirk will be sitting back a lot deeper than Kilmarnock were at that stage of the game. Allows him to use his pace from halfway. Be a little bit harder for him with the Falkirk defenders, as I say, probably bunched round about the edge 18-yard line, but he is a good goal scorer. He's got good ability and he's having a great season, so I think that, as you said, Rob, I think he will strengthen Rangers.
Guy Varsher already heading down the tunnel and into the dressing room, and I think the way things are at the moment, not too many Rangers supporters too sad to see him off. The first opportunity, almost, for Jonathan Johansson, but well dealt with by Ivo Den Beeman. 15 goals already this season, Jonathan Johansson. He's only started 17 games. That's an incredible strike ratio. Now Kevin McAllister for Marino Keith. Falkirk trying to get some players into the box this time. Good play from McAllister, gets to the byline. David Moss! What a good move that was from Falkirk. Very close to hitting the target there, Moss.
Yeah, what a good creator McAllister is. A real loss to the Premier Division because he's not been playing there. And David Moss as well, a player who can score at that level. Great little run across the front of the defender. Amoruso gets caught out there. Moss just couldn't keep the ball down. Great opportunity.
At the other end, it could be an opportunity for Rangers. It's Rod Wallace. Kevin James trying to hold him up. Johansson and McCann are in the area, and well tackled again by Kevin James. He's a determined figure, an unmistakable figure, and he's important at the heart of that Falkirk defence. There was no way past for Rod Wallace. Paul Mathers could be a key man here. He certainly was in the first half on several occasions. Watching as Van Bronckhorst swings in the corner kick, and Rangers have the lead. It's Neil McCann. And the Falkirk defenders looking at each other, mystified as to how that ball ended up in the back of the net. Whipped in by Van Bronckhorst. Neil McCann was on the goal line, and Mathers was beaten.
Yeah, the man we praised so much in the first half here, he'll have to take the blame for this, because he really should have got it. I think he'll claim that Neil McCann was on top of his right arm there as he went to clear it. You see McCann coming in, he goes to clear it, and I'm sure he'll claim that, but he should have made better of that. He's got all the advantage of being able to use his arms there above the height of McCann. McCann's not even the tallest of players, but bad goal for Falkirk to lose. I've been really disappointed with that. From Rangers' point of view, great corner from Van Bronckhorst, swung right in the danger area, and McCann getting in there. As I said, he is good with his head. He's been scoring goals of late, and again he delivers for Rangers.
Kevin McAllister's cross headed away by Sergio Perini, and a bad clash of heads, and immediately both physios sprinting onto the field. Perini is down for Rangers, and I think it's Marino Keith who's taken a knock for Falkirk.
Yeah, it was Keith. Just came right into the back of Perini. Perini did well to head it away. Saw a couple of these yesterday, unbelievable this weekend. Number of head clashes we've seen, and saw Dewsbury go off very early in the match, Motherwell St Johnstone. Fortunately he's recovered and should be watching this at home today, but that was also a bad one there. Both players, I think, will be back on their feet. I think they will be able to carry on.
Much rubbing of heads and maybe scratching of heads as well on that Falkirk bench. Alec Totten will be disappointed in the performance for that opening goal of his goalkeeper, Paul Mathers. Neil McCann adds to his Rangers goals. That's number 5 for Rangers. But Paul Mathers was flat-footed as the corner came in. He didn't get off the ground. Neil McCann did, and he was flying as he celebrated the opening goal of the game.
Yeah, Neil McCann did jump into him, but as I say, you would expect more from Mathers. He's had a fantastic game, and you know, it's a real blight on his performance today to lose a goal like that. And from the point of view of the whole Falkirk team, to lose a goal like that would be very, very disappointing, considering how well defended, how well they've structured the team, how much effort they put into it to lose a simple goal like that.
Long ball from Amoruso, picking out Kanchelskis. Little bit of impromptu keepy-uppy on the byline. Back for Rod Wallace. Johansson tried to get there. Moss's pass intercepted by Van Bronckhorst. McCann involved, Johansson through the legs of James. His clearance cannoned off Martin Corrigan. And thankfully for Falkirk, it's back in the possession of Paul Mathers.
Big question for Falkirk now, Rob, is how they approach it. Do they sit in, continue to do what they do and hope to snatch an equaliser and get themselves back in the game that way, or will they push forward, be more adventurous, and when that happens they will have more chance of scoring, but by the same token they'll leave spaces, and with the pace that Rangers have in attack and the quick breaks and the scoring potential they have, there's every danger they could start to crumble, as many teams have done to Rangers and Celtic in recent weeks once they go a couple of goals down.
The scoring performance of Neil McCann certainly deserves to be highlighted. That's 5 goals in 4 games for him now. And McCann it is, trying to race onto the long ball, cut out by Ivo Den Beeman.
There wasn't much of an appeal from Mathers, but I'm certain that it certainly played a part in it. He didn't set himself right. Obviously, he should have been brushing Neil McCann aside from those sort of situations, but I was really surprised he didn't claim more, because Neil McCann certainly jumped across him, but maybe it was fair, and he'll just have to hold his hands up and take the blame for the goal.
Vidmar's throw, headed clear by Den Beeman. That was Moss. One back for Rangers by Barry Ferguson. Gives it away though to Kevin McAllister. Scott Crabb racing ahead of him. Still McAllister. Now Crabb, shooting opportunity! Off the upright, so close to the equaliser for Falkirk. A lightning break by McAllister and Crabb, and so close to 1-1. Stefan Klos flung himself across, back off the post.
It's that man McAllister again, so creative, just setting up the chance. What a fine strike it was as well from Crabb. Klos no chance.
And at the other end it's George Albert striking the upright. So within the space of 30-40 seconds, chances at each end, and close to a second for Rangers.
Another blistering drive. Mathers has reacted to that one. He knows he's got no chance of getting near it, unlike Klos, who did at least make an attempt for the shot from Crabb. That one's driven him away and it's going well away from him in the corner. He's just hoping that's going wide. Struck the base of the post. A lightning break from Rangers. I said most of the time they are dangerous of the fact that when Falkirk attack and they do leave a little bit of space, that's when you're always vulnerable against the quick Rangers raids.
Ivo Den Beeman's clearance downfield, chased by Kevin McAllister, touched back by Porini to Klos. It was a lovely exchange between McAllister and Crabb a few moments ago, and Scott Crabb had his head in his hands as the ball crashed back off the upright, offside against Neil McCann there. And Albert's within a few inches of his 19th goal of the season as well. So it's been all action at the start of the second half. (1-0 Rangers). One well by Scott McKenzie, thinking about the shot, blocked by Amoruso. The Alberts pass from McCann, cut out. Sinclair has it, good determined play, clever play as well. Martin Corrigan, away from Neil McCann. That's a good ball in from Marino Keith as well to bring it under control. Kevin McAllister on the outside, early ball in, looking for Moss, headed away by Porini. Stunning stuff this from Falkirk as they try to battle their way back into the game. Again Keith not giving Amoruso any peace. Kevin McAllister. Oh, that's superb play from McAllister. Classic wing play, and Amoruso was well beaten.
Yeah, he's made a fool of Amoruso a couple of times today, but he's been doing that to players over the years. Lovely balance he's got, McAllister. Without even touching the ball, he stepped past him inside. Vidmar did well just to give Amoruso that sort of cover, but McAllister is playing a very, very prominent part in trying to get Falkirk back in this game.
Ivo Den Beeman's long throw, it might break for David Moss. Scott Crabb's effort, and it's in, and it's David Moss. That's the equaliser. A glorious scramble inside the Rangers box. Alec Totten absolutely delighted. The electronic scoreboard greets the David Moss equaliser for Falkirk.
Well, it was fantastic work from Falkirk. They went and fought hard for it. 2 or 3 efforts, Rangers got them away. Kloss had a good save. David Moss did brilliantly in the box. He is a real goal-scoring midfield player. And once again, he's added a goal. Normally very good in there as well, but look how he's involved a couple of times here. Falkirk kept at it persistently. What a good save from Kloss. Moss turns in the box, fast at the roof of the net. Superb work. Great from Falkirk's point of view. What a comeback that is to go a goal down to Rangers at Ibrox. Not give up, keep fighting away and get the reward. And they've been close on a couple of occasions recently in this game, and we have to say that, you know, they've shown a lot of determination and heart, spirit as well.
Yes, you would say no more than Falkirk deserve from their showing. But it's important now in the next couple of minutes they keep their composure. It's great delight among the 3,500 Falkirk supporters inside Ibrox as David Moss delivered the left foot volley. They were queuing up in the box. Munir O'Keefe's shot blocked. Then that effort from Kevin James, brilliantly saved by Kloss. But what a good finish that was from David Moss. Very controlled as he wheeled and volleyed the ball, kept the knee over the ball and into the roof of the net for the Falkirk equaliser. So McCann for Rangers, Moss for Falkirk. It's 1-1. Now Neil McCann again. Chipped in, trying to deliver it to the far post. And it dropped on the roof of Paul Mather's net. An opportunity here for McCann to carve something out for Rangers.
Yeah, you really expect him to do better out. Give him the benefit of the doubt. I think it balled up there, Rob, as he went across it. But great, the game really has opened up. The excitement level has built from both sets of fans, although, to be fair, at the moment, it's mainly the Falkirk fans you can hear singing.
So already in the first 17 minutes of the second half, 2 goals and 2 shots against the upright. And the Falkirk supporters at the far end behind Stefan Kloss's goal believe maybe another cup shock is possible at Ibrox.
Seen a few matches here this season, Rob, and I would say Falkirk have done as well as any of the Premier Division side I've seen coming to Ibrox in terms of containing Rangers and having a go at them and creating. And they don't look overawed or afraid of the situation at all, which is very, very refreshing.
And another threat on the Rangers goal here, because it will be Ivo Den Beeman with the long throw. And Kevin James is up in the area. Not much doubt he's the target. His flick, Moss, and a chance for Scott Crabbe, saved by Kloss. Crabbe again, in the half volley. Moss is underneath it, headed away by Vidmar. The Rangers defence is creaking. They were in real trouble there, and all the ability of German international keeper Kloss was needed to deny Falkirk there.
Yeah, he probably hit it too well, Scott Crabbe there. Tremendous pace in the volley, but great reaction by Kloss. Kloss has had some good saves in this second half as well, you have to say. But Kevin James is causing a real bother, and big David Moss in there. The strength, the aerial power, the determination are things that are causing the Rangers' defence problems.
Well, an incredible atmosphere inside Ibrox, and most of it being generated by the Falkirk supporters, who are highly encouraged by what they're seeing. Look at that clean hit from Scott Crabbe. And it went straight at Kloss, who beat it away. Again it's James, again he wins the header. This time he can't direct it to a teammate. And a chance of the counter-attack now for Andrei Kanchelskis. Is away from Scott Crabbe, through for Jonathan Johansson. Chance for Johansson, well saved by Mathers, well positioned. But Rangers will always threaten on the counter with their pace and with their ability.
Yeah, it was good work as well. Johansson probably didn't take the best of touches. He didn't really mean to do that there, but he set himself up very, very nicely. Fired in the shot, good save by Mathers. Mathers at least perhaps has recovered from his mistake, got his confidence back.
Gabriel Amato is a second change for Rangers. And he'll be brought on when Rangers get the chance. 20 minutes gone in the second half. Rangers 1, Falkirk 1, an intriguing Tennent Scottish Cup quarter-final. And Falkirk living up to all the pre-match billing. Got such a fantastic record in this competition over the last few seasons. And their fairy tale goes on. They know, of course, Rangers have the ability still to kill them off. Falkirk showing bags of spirit, bags of invention, and no shortage of confidence. It's Rod Wallace, though, heading into the Falkirk box. Blocked by Kevin James. In for Jonathan Johansson, trying to turn round Den Beeman. The shot flew too high. And Rangers will now make the change, and it's Tony Vidmar who will come off, and Gabriel Amato who will come on. So it's a reshuffle by Dick Advocat. He's out on the touchline supervising. Vidmar off, Gordon Amato on.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think Dick Advocat is trying to create some sort of record for having as few defenders on the field as possible. He starts the game with only 3, and now he's down to 2, and I'm certain that he's going to have to bring some midfield players back into cover there. He won't leave just 2 at the back, certainly not the sort of form McAllister's in. I thought Vidmar was doing well, but there's no doubt about Dick Advocat is unbelievably adventurous, and if he gets away with it today, you have to say, you know, deserves all the plaudits, but he's taking a real chance to cutting his defence down to 2 natural defenders.
And at the time of the match when Falkirk are threatening an attack as well, here's Kevin McAllister. Again, leading Amoruso a merry dance. Back to Corrigan, lofted in towards David Moss. George Alberts won an important header because Jamie McQuilkin was lurking in behind him. Well, these Falkirk supporters are loving their Sunday afternoon. A live match on BBC Scotland. Rangers against Falkirk, 1-1, delicately poised. The corner kick delivered by Scott Crabb. Won by Kevin James. He appealed there was a touch, which there was, deflected behind. So it's another corner kick, this time on the other side.
Yeah, I agree with that decision. I think James definitely headed the ball onto the back of the head of one of the Rangers players. Amoruso it was, obviously, but with Vidmar off and the aerial power that Falkirk have, there must be surely more of a chance of them scoring from one of these set pieces.
Corner kick, Jamie McQuilkin this time, short with it, he'll be disappointed. Thumped away by Albert. That was an opportunity for Falkirk to keep the pressure on Rangers, and they'll be disappointed they couldn't do that. And now they've given it away. Martin Corrigan straight to Van Bronckhorst. Neil McCann stumbling through David Sinclair's tackle, and the whistle goes for a free kick. You get the feeling it's an important stage of this match, Gordon?
Certainly is. It certainly is in the balance at the moment, and Falkirk are the team who have had the lift. They've come back, probably much more so than if they had been a goal up and Rangers had equalised. They are really get their heads up now. I'm just still trying to work out exactly how Rangers are deploying the players now. It looks like Alberts has dropped back there, which is unusual, but you know, so attacking in terms of Rangers formation now.
Here comes Neil McCann for Rod Wallace. Now Alberts pushing up in towards Amato and Johansson, but headed away by Kevin James. He read that well, and he dominated, and the ball was played in by Alberts.
That's a great ball from Alberts. That's a really difficult one to defend. Kevin James did well. All he can do really is head it behind his own goal.
Now the Alberts corner kick towards Perini, headed away by McQuilkin and Bronkhorst. The backman for Rangers is Andrei Kanchelskis. Amoruso. He and Kanchelskis have swapped positions momentarily in this very fluid Rangers team. Amoruso has made a run down the right-hand side, screaming for the ball from Kanchelskis. No way through. Kevin McAllister was the man in the way. And Bronkhorst, long ball for Neil McCann. The flag is up, offside given, and a lot of people inside Ibrox don't agree with that. And Dick Advocat is one of them. He's out on the touchline screaming at the assistant referee.
Yeah. Looks like a correct decision, I have to say, because once again I would say that, you know, Neil McCann, he did very well in the first half, keep himself onside when Wallace came through, but he is looking along the line there, and you can see it's the best position to be in when you're looking for a ball played diagonally to you, is to look along the line as well and just see that you don't stray offside.
Alberts surging away from David Moss and from Crabb. The ball was aimed at Rod Wallace's one, and it was well cut out by Kevin James. The other Kevin McAllister brushed aside by Amaruso. Plays the ball with the outside of his right foot to Andrei Kanchelskis. In for Amato, back into the stride of Kanchelskis. Knocked away by Scott McKenzie. Kept in by Kevin McAllister. Whistle had gone for offside, just a few yards inside the Rangers' half. Now Falkirk on the move again, as Rangers give it away under no great pressure. Trying to find a way between Kanchelskis and Amaruso there, Kevin McAllister. The gap failing to open up for him. There's the scoreline, 1-1. It makes good viewing for the underdogs. It's been a heroic performance from Falkirk, and it continues. Free kick given against George Albert. He shakes his head. Set-piece opportunity here for the First Division side.
Certainly, I think it's even more than heroic at the moment, because there's not just a question of hanging on. Falkirk, they're actually going for it now. They're attempting to win this game, and they have every opportunity of doing so. Scott Crabb, I'd imagine, with the one he'll try and fire in a shot. He's a good striker of the ball. Is a fair distance out.
There are 19 minutes left. Scott Crabb is there. Jamie McCulkin is there. Kevin McAllister is there. It's Crabb, curling but not dipping quickly enough for him. Over the top. And he sets himself high standards, and he'll view this as a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, as it just doesn't dip enough for him. He's trying to get a bit of curl in it, and you know, wasn't enough pace in it either. But you know, Rangers virtually are playing with 2 against 2 at the back. Van Bronckhorst is just sitting in the space between them.
It's a lovely long pass from Van Bronckhorst, about 70 yards, right into the path of Rod Wallace. Trying to weave his way to the byline. Another tackle, all-encompassing by Kevin James. Good knockdown from Marino Keith for Crabb. Scott Crabb might well have taken a touch there before delivering the ball downfield. It was too long for McAllister. And now back in Rangers' possession. And Bronckhorst, Amaruso, John Rowbottom getting himself in the way. Amaruso through. Now a chance for Johansson! He's missed it! That was a real chance to put Rangers back in front. It was a slip by Jamie McCulkin, and he might well have been punished here.
Yeah, it was it. McCulkin did well, but just intercept the pass. But I thought Johansson did everything right there, to be honest with you. He was very, very unlucky. His control was good to get the ball down. He struck an early shot to give the keeper no chance. He just tried to slide rule it into the corner. Just failed, put it off target. But a good opportunity for Rangers. So they are really taking a tremendous chance at the back. I think Abaka is so positive at times. Left 2 against 2 situation, but they'd really be in trouble if McAllister gets on a run and takes one of the Rangers defenders out by a good dribble, because they really would be caught against a 2 against 1 situation.
There's a clash there between David Sinclair and Gabriel Amato off the ball. It looked as if arms were raised, although they appear to be good friends again. A little handshake between the pair as George Alberts makes progress. Gets it back from McCann. Now Neil McCann a chance to measure the cross. In for Amato. Cut out by Den Beeman. The back 3 for Falkirk are doing a superb job. Den Beeman, Sinclair and James. Everyone a hero so far for the First Division side.
Yeah, it's a good ball again. It's on the head of Amato. Amato is good in the air, but you know, it's just all about getting the positional sense right. Den Beeman covering the near post.
Amato underneath the Alberts corner kick. And Kevin James had more time, I think, there than he thought to clear that. The Alberts throw looking for Amato. Got there just in time before David Sinclair. And he's got the better of Sinclair. Amato stopped by Den Beeman. The Falkirk players working well for each other. When Sinclair was beaten, Den Beeman was covering in behind to make up for it. 32-year-old Ivo Den Beeman enjoying a new lease of life at Falkirk. We're now talking countdown to full time and a possible replay. It's 15 minutes now to full time. 1-1 between First Division Falkirk and the runaway Premier League leaders. Lorenzo Amoruso may well think about the shot, does so! There's the goal! Rangers so desperately wanted. And it's the skipper, Amoruso. Only his second goal of the season, and that could be vital.
Yeah,
it's 2-1.
Lined himself up for this and then drove it in. Falkirk maybe seen him play so often they decided there wasn't a danger as he coming there. Nobody goes to close him down, but he gets a little bounce off the turf in front of the keeper, and there will be complaint that gave him too much space. But a fine strike on this occasion from Amoruso, accurate. It was from distance, bit of pace in it, and that takes the pressure off Rangers at this stage.
And a very dodgy stage for Rangers. The skipper has struck. Amoruso's goal means 2-1 Rangers, and you would now expect Rangers to finish the job, but we've already seen Falkirk's ability to fight back. Can they do it again? What Rangers will be thinking at the moment is getting a third goal, making it a little bit safer. Into the box goes Amato, cleared by Kevin James. Claiming a Falkirk free. Reckon that got a touch of Amato on its way out, and being told to cool down by John Rowbottom.
Yeah, they'll be annoyed, those Falkirk players. I mean, that's probably a second goal I've lost to say that it was quite easily preventable. There shouldn't really have been a danger there. Somebody goes and confronts Amoruso quickly enough, but he always had his mind to shoot, and to be fair to him, he's very, very confident in those sort of situations. He skies a lot of balls into terraces, into stands from those sort of efforts, but finally he got one on target. Finally he's put one in the net.
It's been a very sporting match, and it's a shame to see a yellow card being handed out to Kevin James, who's been one of the game's star performers, but clearly John Rowbottom checking with Alistair Burke, the assistant referee on this side, exactly what was sent to him, and that merited a yellow card. It's back with Van Bronckhorst and toward Johansson. His flick cleared by Sinclair. Moss to Corrigan. Chested down well by Kevin McAllister for Scott Crabb. Quickly on to Marino Keith. He's in behind Sergio Perini. Keith's still going. Eventually blazed the shot too high. That was tenacious play from Keith as he fought his way past Perini.
He did. He showed good strength, good pace. He was probably just getting a little bit fouled there. Perini's trying to get across the front of him, but Perini stuck to his task. He did really well. He did enough so that Keith was never in a position to hit a decent shot here. If you see, he's always strong on it. Good move from him though, good pace from Marino Keith. He's given Rangers problems at times today with his pace and strength, but he was never really getting a good effort in there. Great move though from the point of view. McAllister lays the ball back, and Keith immediately knew there was going to be a next ball played in. And that was a big chance Rangers had taken there, the 2-against-2 situation.
Here comes George Alberts. Immediately a buzz goes round Ibrox. And he played the ball for Neil McCann, and McCann was stationary at the time. He's explaining to George Alberts that he was trying to keep himself onside. He was looking along the line, and that's why he'd stopped as the pass was played through.
Well, that's what we told him to do, so he's obviously decided this time to do it, and I think that's what he's trying to explain to George Alberts.
11 minutes to go, and Rangers 2-1 up against Falkirk. Free kick against Keith. The foul on Perini. Lorenzo Amoruso with the free kick. Knocked down the left side for Jonathan Johansson. Made the pace to catch it. Back with Neil McCann. Little change of pace, change of direction. Kept in well, giving Martin Corrigan a hard time. But Corrigan has stuck to his task well right through the game. Johansson again. Kevin James. And up and under in his own penalty area. Amato, good close control, strength as well. David Moss for Kevin McAllister. Very quickly in was Amoruso. I think he's learning quickly about the skills of Kevin McAllister, and he wasn't giving him time on the ball there. Is there to be One more twist in this intriguing tie. Jamie McQuilkin tried his best but couldn't keep it in. Kevin McAllister apologised for the pace of the return pass. McQuilkin receiving some instructions there from Alec Totten as Falkirk again chase an equaliser. Amoruso's header, returned with interest by James. McAllister, it's swirling away from David Moss. Always made Stefan Kloss the favourite as he came off the line. Now it's Alberts, well read by Scott McKenzie. Kevin McAllister. Great determination apart from anything else from McAllister against two Rangers players, when Bronkhorst and Ferguson. Travers lost that to Van Bronkhorst. Rod Wallace, Johansson given offside. Well, it may well have been Kanchelskis. The flag went up instantly, the pass was played.
I think it was Kanchelskis, you could just see him there, he strayed off. Johansson did really well, he is looking along the line, he's looking to see if he can just be onside as a pass release. Kanchelskis had run forward, he was looking for the earlier pass, so there's no doubt about it, it was Kanchelskis who was off.
David Sinclair in need of some running repairs after that tackle. Meantime, Alec Totten is passing on instructions to Jamie McQuilkin again, because Falkirk are about to make a change. I think it's Gareth Hutchison who's going to come on. The last throw of the dice for Falkirk, but haven't they done well? The clock tells us just over 7 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Martin Corrigan with the free kick, flighted in towards James, headed away by Amoruso. That's a miscue from Alberts. And a shot on the back on Porini, picked up by John Rowbottom, free kick. Falkirk have long-term ambitions to be a part of the Scottish Premier League, and they've certainly done their argument no harm by their showing this afternoon.
Yeah, not at all. I think that can be very proud of the job they've done today. The players have worked hard, but they've shown a lot of ability as well. It's not just about a case of the enthusiasm and the work rate. The organisation was given to them by Alec Totten, which is good, and the players within that framework have performed very, very well. McAllister, Crabb, Moss, the two full-backs have been excellent, and the three central defenders have been superb as well. Rangers about to bring on Scott Wilson too. Dick Advocaat has decided another defender is needed at this stage. Rangers have the vital lead. They took a chance at one each by reducing the number of defenders, and maybe going to redress that balance now. Just get Wilson on there and make sure it's tight.
Don't tell me he's playing it safe after all this time.
Not like Dick to play it safe, but I think I would be thinking along those lines at this stage of the game. You know, where it's been very, very hard fought. Rangers don't look like pulling away and notching a few goals. Just tighten things up and make sure that Falkirk don't get any encouragement, a bit extra height as well in case they get any set pieces.
It's going to be Neil McCann who'll come off, and Scott Wilson on, as Dick Advocaat makes yet another shuffle of the pack and tries to hold on to what he's got, which is a winning situation. Rangers at the moment heading for the semi-finals of the Tennant Scottish Cup. Neil McCann, who scored goal number 1, beating Paul Mathers right on the goal line, and Scott Wilson comes on in his place to tighten things up at the back. Scott Crabb will be heading off for Falkirk, and it's Gareth Hutchison who's coming on, the former Stenhouse-Muir player. The head flick from David Moss, and that came off Kevin McAllister. That's why the goal kick's been given. The Falkirk supporters behind the goal were hoping for a corner kick. Four minutes from time. Rangers 2-1 ahead. The first touch for Hutchison. Hammered out of play by Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Good skills from Keith. The layoff from Moss. Still battling for it against Rod Wallace. But over-enthusiastic. Free kick to Rangers. And there's the man of the match. The Rangers captain, and at the moment the scorer of what looks to be the winning goal, Lorenzo Amoruso.
Yeah, time is now the enemy of Falkirk. Minutes ticking away here. There might be a minute or two for injuries at the end of this period, but now Rangers have tightened up again. At one stage, as I said, they were sitting, you could see the two Falkirk forwards with two defenders against them. Now it's 4 against 2 virtually by Van Bronckhorst as they're sitting in there. Wilson's gone back there. Amoruso, who has been absolutely outstanding in this game, and they're just making sure that they're giving nothing away. But Rod Wallace is almost certainly going to be coming off. He's pulled up.
Yeah, Rod Wallace is in big trouble. Not moving freely at all at the moment. He's trying to run the injury off. It remains to be seen if he can stay on the pitch. Foul by McQuilkin on Kanchelskis. And that allows a few more seconds to pass. Here's how Rod Wallace was hurt. I think it looked as if Scott McKenzie possibly trod on his heel. And Wallace felt that. But he's still on the pitch and he's okay. And Falkirk have moved Kevin James up front for the last few minutes. Lovely back heel as well for Marino Keith. Trying to weave his way into the box. Runs for Hutchison, and Keith. Shot blocked by Amoruso. And Hutchison claiming he was elbowed in the face by Barry Ferguson. As Ferguson strode forward, Hutchison still clutching his face. It's George Alberts with the shot, and it's off target.
Yeah, I think
and Alec Totten, furious down in the touchline. He's indicating towards referee John Rowbottom, and an elbow was used on his substitute Hutchison as Ferguson pushed forward. Here's the incident, and there's the arm.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Barry Ferguson's arm came across and did make contact with him, and I think that Alec Totten had heavy right to be angry. It happened right in front of him there. I think possibly the blind side of John Rowbottom, or he would have pulled up there if he'd seen exactly what happened, but I don't think, I think Barry Ferguson's been quite lucky to get away with that one, to be honest with you.
Not a dirty player, Barry Ferguson, but certainly guilty that time. Good play from Martin Corrigan. Good exchange with Kevin McAllister. Still playing good football for Falkirk. Much to be admired about them. Corrigan clattered to the ground, and Falkirk have a set piece. They'll want to make a lot of this with inside the last minute of the match.
Yeah, could be final. Throw the dice. The big men are all up there. Kevin James has moved up front already. They've got the aerial power to cause Rangers problems here. They really need to get something from this.
James and Den Beeman and Sinclair all in the area, flighted in by Scott McKenzie, knocked down by James! A glorious scramble again in the goal mouth, hammered out of play by Amato, and Falkirk so close to scrambling an equaliser.
Well, it's exactly what they needed, a flighted ball. James did brilliantly. Look at Kloss here, almost lost it. Rangers just had enough bodies to get it away.
Den Beeman's long throw. It's a goal kick. It all fizzles out for Falkirk, as Kevin James was again a menacing figure inside that Rangers penalty box. 90 minutes have come and gone. It's been a fascinating encounter, this. Inside stoppage time. And not too much longer if the Falkirk fairy tale is to continue. 3 minutes of stoppage time to be added. 30 seconds already gone. 2.5 minutes left. Marino Keith can't reach the long ball from David Sinclair. Coolness personified. The man of the match, Amoruso, at the back. Long ball for Amato. Chested down for Rod Wallace. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. Then Beeman to McAllister. Kevin McAllister sets off on one of these mazy runs. Keith can't get there before Perini. Cleared by Van Bronckhorst. McQuilkin for Kevin James. The ball bubbled over his boot. Scott Wilson happy to let it run. Nearly a minute and a half of stoppage time played. Roughly 90 seconds left. It's been a dramatic second half. There's one more instalment yet to come.
And a great second half of excitement. Both sides had real chances at different times.
Jonathan Johansson over the top for Gabriel Amato. Inside him is Kanchelskis. Pass from Amato. He's behind Andrei Kanchelskis. That allowed Sinclair to clear. Now Gareth Hutchison, who's got pace. The pass took a touch off Rod Wallace. Now Jonathan Johansson. Across comes Scott McKenzie, trying to win it back for Falkirk. He is so quick, Johansson. Now he's away from Martin Corrigan. Lofted in for Gabriel Amato. A header into the side netting. That would really have tied it up for Rangers. It was a very tight angle, and he couldn't quite screw back the header.
Yeah, he's a fantastic outlet at times, Johansson, because of that pace there. Bursts away, leaves a few Falkirk players behind. Good ball to the back post, but you can see here Amoruso, very tight angle. I think he tried to go back across goal to the far corner, didn't quite make it.
30 seconds left in this Tennant Scottish Cup tie. Lovely ball from George Albert. Rod Wallace onside, but Ivo Den Beeman recovered superbly. That was good defending, because Rod Wallace there looked sure to run through for number 3 for Rangers. Whistles going around the ground. John Rowbottom has already had a look at his watch. 3 minutes of stoppage time played. Falkirk want to get this forward as quickly as possible. It's David Moss. Leaves it to Marino Keith. Couldn't find a way through. Now Kevin James, his header. Chested down by Barry Ferguson. That's good play. Wilson for Kanchelskis. He's away from McQuilkin. Quickly into Amato. Again, a strong Den Beeman challenge. Free kick against Amato. Falkirk wanting to get on with it so quickly. John Rowbottom insisting that it's taken from the right spot. Alec Totten again, sprinting out of the dugout, wanting Falkirk to get this into the area as quickly as possible. He knows this match is just about over. 4 minutes of stoppage time played. Kevin James sure to be the target here for Jamie McQuilkin. Lofted in, David Moss is there, and Moss can't get contact, and it's through for a goal kick. This dramatic match continues. It really has been a sensational Sunday afternoon. The live match on BBC Scotland, Rangers 2, Falkirk 1. That's full time. Rangers through to the semi-finals of the Tennant Scottish Cup. But what a day of drama. A fantastic performance from Falkirk. David Moss equalised after Neil McCann had scored first for Rangers. It looked as if the match might head to a replay at Brockville. That was until Rangers skipper Lorenzo Amoruso stepped up and from 25 yards drilled a shot away from Paul Mathers into the corner, and that the goal that takes Rangers into the Cup's last 4 and keeps Rangers on the trail of the treble. 10 points clear in the Scottish Premier League, And now into the last 4 of the Tennant Scottish Cup. They've already won the Scottish League Cup, but a lot of plaudits this afternoon go to Falkirk. A performance full of spirit, full of determination, full of skill from them. And if they were looking to put on a good advertisement for the sort of quality of football that they can produce, then this was surely it. They came so close to giving Rangers the fright of their lives. But in the final analysis, it's Rangers who join St Johnstone in the semi-finals of the Tennant Scottish Cup, and their victorious captain and the man of the match, Lorenzo Amoruso, is with Chick.
Lorenzo, Falkirk made that difficult for you, did they not?
Yes, you're right, because what do we know is that because in Scottish Cups, I think in the last few years, Falkirk have done a good run, and that's the reason why we expect a very hard game today. But I think we won this game with difficulty, but I think we demerited this game.
Did you suspect at one point you might be heading for a replay?
Well, after the 1-1, yes, because in that moment they played very well. For 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they played really well, and then we were not scared, but you know, it was difficult to play the football.
On a personal level, Lorenzo, do you feel now you're playing as well as you have since you came to Rangers?
Yeah, well, I think I'm still doing very well, but I think also the team's still doing well. That's important, you know.
Lorenzo, delighted to see you've been named man of the match today.
Motherwell, one of only 14